Hi, Craig.
Hello, welcome to today's episode of Juicing the Numbers, your statistics and sports podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Tracy.
And I'm your host, Corwin Hiller.
And happy Thanksgiving. I can't imagine anybody is actually listening to this on Thanksgiving because in theory, there are people you're spending your day with or you're enjoying your holiday and not spending it with us. Both are viable options. But if you're listening to this the day it drops, it is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving. Corwin chooses.
Were you waiting for me to say something or like?
I was waiting for you to be like, yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We appreciate you guys listening to the podcast.
Fuck them. I don't give a shit.
But anyway, since we anticipate you not listening to this podcast on Thanksgiving, because again, why would you? We're going to talk a little bit about Black Friday stats this year. So last year, on the Thanksgiving themed episode of the show, we talked about Thanksgiving stats, turkeys, and travel, and yada yada yada. Today, we'll be talking about a couple pieces of sports news, coupled with some Black Friday stats instead. So, Corwin, are you ready to get started?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, he's ready.
He's ready.
So Charlie Morton, the pitcher who has most recently been with the Tampa Bay Rays for the last 2 seasons, has signed a brand new contract. He has signed a 1-year, $15 million contract with the Atlanta Braves. So I guess, yeah, so next year he'll be in Atlanta. He's about to be heading into his age 37 season, and he's still doing it. Yeah.
Holy shit, Charlie Morton. Young.
And I think this would be a very fitting season for him to go out on, no matter what, because his first season in the majors in 2008 was with Atlanta. His first season, 2008, age 24, in Atlanta. He went 4-8 with an ERA of 6.15. He pitched 74.2 innings, let up 80 hits, 56 runs, 51 of them earned, 9 home runs, 41 walks, 2 intentional, 48 strikeouts. Yeesh. 2 hit by pitches, a FIP of 5.1, a WHIP of 16.21. Those stats are not good. But 2019, he finished 3rd in Cy Young voting, 21st in MVP voting, which I only bring up because that's hilarious. He had a 3.05 ERA in 194 innings pitched, which was by far his most. FIP of 2.81 and a WHIP of 10.84. This past season, he got roughed up a little bit with an ERA of 4.74. But this is the COVID season. I think there is massive leniency that we are giving all players in baseball in terms of judging them by their stats. Based on the COVID shortened season, most especially pitchers. But on its surface, what make you of a 1-year, $15 million contract for Charlie Morton, for both him on both his end and the Braves end?
I like it on both sides. On one hand, $15 million for a 37-year-old pitcher sounds like a lot. But he still slings it. And, he still has some really great movement. He still has some really good stuff. And with how young the Braves, I think it makes a lot of sense bringing in a veteran guy who has a ton of postseason experience, World Series experience, and, can kind of be that, that role model, that, whatever you want to call it, whatever the correct phrase is that I'm clearly forgetting. That veteran leader for that rotation and for those pitchers. So I like it. And on Charlie Morton's side, you're not getting a long-term contract at 37 years old. You know that. And $15 million at 37 years old after a significant career. Yeah. Fantastic. How do you turn that down?
Yeah, I mean, he's made, so I think his contract, I could just look it up. I think I have it in front of me. His contract in Tampa was 2 years, $30 million. So am I right about that? 2 years, $20 million. So in the last year, he'll have made
We got a raise.
35. Yeah, right. So in the last 3 years, he'll have made $45 million. Sorry, $35 million. In the previous 12 seasons combined, he'll have made $45 million.
That's a veteran contract right there.
That's hilarious. Yeah. So he has after next season, he'll have a lifetime earning of $80 million. And in the last 3 seasons, he had $35 million worth of contracts. Man, that's nuts.
Right?
Yeah. So the Braves are going to have Max Fried going into next season. Is Kyle Wright still a guy? Is he still on the team? Yeah. Kyle Wright, who didn't have a great season, 5.21 ERA is kind of ugly. They'll have Ian Anderson still, so that's a guy, right? Or
Ian Anderson, yeah.
Why is he not on their 2021 payroll list? Is he?
Is it brought back to the 40-man roster, not the 25?
I believe so. Yeah. Why isn't Ian Anderson here?
Probably because of the 40-man roster.
Oh, wait. Nope. I found it. He's here. I was wrong. So I had it sorted by position, and he wasn't with the starting pitchers, and he wasn't with the relief pitchers, so I assumed he did not exist, but he is with a group of 4 pitchers labeled just simply as pitchers, and that's very annoying.
That is.
Touki Toussaint, I don't think is with the Braves anymore. Am I right about that?
Who?
Touki Toussaint. Didn't they trade him?
No. Yeah.
No, they didn't. Nope. I'll try to save you.
Did they trade the other guy? The older veteran guy? I always forget his name.
Yeah.
Fuck. This is gonna hurt when you get it, when you tell me.
Oh my god, what's his fucking name?
Julio Teheran.
Yes, Julio Teheran. That's right. He went to the Angels, I think, and then didn't do anything. They also have Robbie Erlin.
He's only 29?
Yeah, he's way younger than you think he is.
What?
It's crazy. I know.
Holy shit. I could have sworn he was like 34, 35.
That's because that's how he feels.
Right?
Like it feels like he is near the end of his career instead of supposedly in his prime.
All right. Do you want to go ERA by year?
How many years?
We'll cut out the first 2. He only had 7 games combined. So 1, 2, 3, 8 years.
8? Jesus, really? 8 years? All right.
8 full seasons. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Lay it on me.
3.2.
Nice.
2.89.
Beautiful.
This is as a 22 and 23-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
23-year-old All-Star.
You got the next Jacob deGrom right here.
Right? 4.04. Aggression. Yeah. Still went 11 and 8. That's okay.
Yeah.
3.21.
Nice.
Made the All-Star game. 4.9.
Yeah.
3.94.
Okay.
3.81.
Okay.
10.05.
Oh no. Julio,
no.
You want to hear, because just as I'm looking at it and it's wild, you want to hear the 6 starting pitchers, or those 6 who are listed as starting pitchers in Baseball Reference, and their ERAs for the Atlanta Braves last season?
Sure.
Max Fried, ace, 2.25. Kyle Wright, 5.21. It's not what you want out of your second guy.
No.
Ian Anderson, 1.95.
Beautiful.
Touki Toussaint, 8.88.
Cool. Yep.
Robbie Erlin, 8.49. And then number 6.
I forgot he was on the Braves.
I know. And then number 6 is Huascar Anoa, 5.82.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know who that is.
I don't. He's 22. I have to assume this is his rookie season.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I'm looking at his stats. He did play in 2019, but he played in 2 games and pitched a total of 3 innings. So, yeah.
Nice.
So if you just throw on, actually, hold on. Do I have team value pitching? Is that an option? Show it to me, baby. Give it to player value,
Show me
player
what you
pitcher.
got.
All right. So let's sort this by innings pitched so I can see it the way I just saw it. So Max Fried provided 2.9 wins last season. Josh Tomlin, 0.5. Kyle Wright, 0.3. Ian Anderson, 1.3. And then there's some relievers. And then Tukey Toussaint at negative 0.8. Robbie Erlin at negative 0.5. And Oscar Inoa at 0.1. So there's not a whole lot of fun stuff happening there. So if you throw Charlie Morton, who did not have a great season this past season, as we just said, with his 4.74 ERA, his peripherals are still relatively good. He underperformed his FIP. His FIP sitting at 3.45, which isn't bad. His WHIP was pretty high at 13.95. Which obviously that is relatively concerning. He let up the long ball at a pretty high rate last year too. He let up his average hit total and his average home run total both were pretty high last season. But still, the strikeouts were there, so you would assume he just got tatted up a little bit because of the shortened spring training and how awkward that was for a lot of pitchers. Anyway, all that to say, he still put up 0.2 WAR last season, which means he put up 0.7 more WAR than Robbie Erlin and one entire additional WAR over Tukey Toussaint. Yeah, that's how bad it is. So a 1 year but by the same token, the Braves still finished in first place in the NL East, going 35-25, which is hilarious to look at. But you just say 10 games over 500, and that's not bad. So if you can squeeze an extra handful of wins out of a Charlie Morton, where he doesn't have to be your number 1 guy because you got Max Fried, and he doesn't even have to be your number 2 guy if Ian Anderson could be anything near where he was last season. So you really just need
by
to be
all means, he looks like it.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't hit the 1.95 ERA again, because why would he? That's still good. He even if that regresses all the way to 3, that's still good. So it's such a great value signing. $15 million on 1 year just to try to make the playoffs again while you figure out your pitching situation and let the market do what it does and wait till you can either acquire some more dudes or bring some more dudes up and shore up the rotation a little bit heading into next season when you're still a bat first team. It's not bad at all.
Picking up bats. So I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, no, say it again. I didn't hear you.
I said, and it's not like they need to focus on picking up bats this offseason.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, where else are they going to spend the money? You're right. They do. If they need anything, it is not hitting.
No. Oh man, Braves. Hopefully they're good because I feel like there's a lot of players on that team that really deserve it, and I'm all for it.
Yeah. Just because I'm looking, the only place they might need to go is center field. Oh, only because Acuna was hurt. He's not listed in the main part of this thing. Because I was going to say, Ender Inciarte played a meaningful amount of innings for them last season, and his OPS plus was 36.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but Ronald Acuna Jr.'s was 155. And based on the plate appearance totals, actually, no, that doesn't even make sense because Ronald Acuna Jr. had 202 plate appearances to Ender Inciarte's 131. So I guess, and they really are playing Ender Inciarte that often in center field, and everyone else is just rotating the corners. They should stop playing Ender Inciarte at all, ever again.
So you're telling me they should bench a bad player, a bad old player, in exchange for a very good young player?
Yes. Yeah, dude, I don't get this. So, you know what Ender Inciarte's DWAR was last season?
No.
You'd assume it'd be good, right? Because they kept playing him when his bat was trash. So it's got to be good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's 0.
Oh, good.
You know,
Good.
all right, it's a shortened season. You know what his 2019 DWAR was?
No.
It was also 0.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was 65 games. It was 0. Now
I'm glad they keep him around.
in 2018 it was 2.1. That's cool. 2018 was
2.1
3 years ago.
DWAR? Yeah,
2.1 DWAR.
that's pretty spectacular.
Yeah. Yeah, Gold Glover. Yeah,
I
but
get why he still holds the reputation for being a, very good defensive baseball center fielder. Need to drop turn fucking 60 and just can't hit anymore. Time is undefeated.
yeah, and as we have opined on the show before, there is one WAR, one OWAR, and one DWAR do not cancel each other out. Like
No.
one OWAR is so much more meaningful than one DWAR.
Right. Even though it seems like the opposite because of how much rare DWAR is to accumulate. Go listen to that episode. That's all you need. We go over it.
Yeah, I mean,
It was discussed.
and just to put a point in case on it, Derek Jeter played a very, very long time at shortstop. He was not a good defensive shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
He played a long time at shortstop because defense matters when it matters, but batting matters all the time, every time. Anyway,
Every time.
so yeah, I'm a fan of this signing. I think this is really this is a good entryway too into what the rest of the offseason might look like because we've got a couple of the pitchers moving. The big question eventually is going to become where does Trevor Bauer go, and what does that contract look like? Because if you got a 37-year-old starting pitcher going for $15 million, it might be a lot. Might be a whole lot.
Is there how do I want to phrase this while we're still talking about the Braves? Are there any free agents you would like to see go to the Braves or at least any free agents you want to end up seeing in certain locations?
That's a very interesting question.
As we both scramble to pull up free agent lists.
Yeah, I had Spot Track up already, so I'm just gonna pop over. Who's interesting? Someone be interesting.
I mean, personally, I want to see Bauer end up with the Padres. Just for reasons, but also because Mike Clevenger and Trevor Bauer need to be reunited, and I think that bromance is just good for the sport of baseball.
Sure. I don't want. There's a lot of Yankees fans that want Trevor Bauer. I do not want Trevor Bauer. I find him to be a very annoying person and don't want him near my team.
Mm-hmm.
You want to Cespedes? Jesus Christ! I forgot he was a free agent. Yeah, so he's not going anywhere. Oh, Jake Arrieta's a free agent. That's interesting.
Yeah. JT Realmuto, Trevor Bauer, George Springer, DJ LeMahieu.
I want to wonder about Jake Arrieta for a second because he's getting, I think, maybe a little bit under-discussed because of Trevor Bauer. Because he's in a really interesting spot. Just finished up his contract in Philly, where he posted some mixed results.
I just saw his past couple of years. No thanks.
ERA of 4.36 over the duration of his Philadelphia seasons.
Yeah, with a 3.96, a 4.64, and a 5.08 the past 3 years. No fucking thank you.
Again, that 5.08, I'm willing to be lenient on, but the fact that it was also, he's heading into 5-6 straight seasons of increasing ERAs is not a good sign. Yeesh.
That 2015 year, wow.
Oh, it was so good, man. It was a magical season.
Here's another one. I want to see Marcus Stroman end up on the White Sox.
He already re-signed with the Mets.
Oh yeah, he signed his qualifying offer. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Damn. I'm just scrolling through this MLB.com piece.
Yeah, he
D and DJ LeMahieu are up. Which one are the Yankees going to grab?
wait, between DJ and who?
DJ LeMahieu.
Yeah, I think I don't know what the Yankees are waiting for because in theory I think they should have their minds pretty well made up. Um so here's the Yankees dilemma the way I see it. Their infield is currently Luke Voigt at first, DJ at second, Gleyber Torres at short, and I guess still Gio Urshela at third. The problem with that is that Gleyber Torres is a very bad shortstop. Um, he's so not good at being a shortstop. It's really hard to watch him be a shortstop.
Hmm.
Um, I don't want to keep watching him be a shortstop, and I don't think the Yankees want him to be a shortstop either, because defense is a lot harder to improve in the majors than offense is, and I know that sounds dumb because it usually isn't that way, but or at least you wouldn't intuitively think of it that way, but it most of the time is that way. Usually, whoever you are on defense when you pull up into the majors is kind of who you're going to be at defense. Um, and so I'm wondering if the way I see the Yankees have two main flashy possibilities they have. It's either you re-sign DJ to whatever he's asking for, 4 years, 5 years contract, put him at second, and just deal with Gleyber at short and hope that he does improve, which doesn't not happen. So
Mhm.
there's a chance. Or they let DJ LeMahieu walk and they trade to get Francisco Lindor, put him at short, and move Gleyber to second, so they have better defense at both positions with a comparable defensive player as DJ. Maybe that's unfair. A slightly worse player at second base in Gleyber Torres, defensively speaking. He's a step down from DJ, but it's not huge. But a massive improvement in defense at short, which is a significantly more important position. And you get a switch hitting bat in there, which will help balance out the Yankees lineup, which is what I would prefer happen. You could, in theory, still maintain DJ LeMahieu and put him at third base, but it just depends on how you value the defense of Gio versus the defense of DJ, and then weighing that comparatively or balancing DJ's very, very good offense over Gio. So I would imagine that's a lot of the decision making there because I don't know where else it could be.
Fair enough. That was a very well thought out response, Josh, and I appreciate your effort.
Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you appreciating it. Um,
Well, I appreciate. No, I'm not doing it. Not
so
doing it.
here's an interesting tidbit because I was curious, so I pulled up um, what's his fucking name? Jake Arrieta's baseball savant page to look at some other stats. Here's the spin rate on his fastball, his four-seam fastball from 2015 on, which is very convenient because those are the only years we care about, and those are the only years that information is in StatCast. Four-seam fastball in 2015, 2,292 RPMs. It's pretty good. 2016,
Mm-hmm.
2,316. So it's pretty close, but that is better. That is definitely better. In 2017, 2,312, so about the same. 2018, 2,310, about the same. 2019, 2,275. Now we're jumping down a little bit. And in 2020, 2,249. That's down even farther. That's not good.
I get why Trevor Bauer is so obsessed with spin rate. It matters.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
we all
really
knew it
does.
matters, but it's nice seeing these correlated numbers matching up.
Yeah, and you see it in the miles per hour, the speed as well. 2015, he was throwing his four seamer 95 miles an hour on average. It's very hard. In 2016, it was 94.2. That's down, but 94.2 is also still very high.
Mhm.
In 2017, he was throwing at 92.2. That's, again, lower. 2018, 92.4, so consistent. And then 2019 and 2020, he threw at 91.9. So it's also trending down. So it seems like, but that's what I think is going to make Jake Arrieta an interesting get, because I think someone is going to sign him. Is that I don't think he's going to be. You're probably going to get something more like the 2019 version of Jake Arrieta than the 2020 version, only because a veteran pitcher is better than a 5.08 season in a given year. I think, going based on my gut, which isn't how baseball stats work, but that's how it's working for this discussion. But at the same time, like you're getting a back end starter, you're getting a 3 or 4 guy at best. So I think his contract is going to be a very interesting contract too, because he might get a 3-year deal or like a 2-year deal with a club option, because he's younger than Morton. He's 34, or he's going to be 35 in the next season. But this isn't the guy you're giving a 5-year deal to.
Mhm.
Oh, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I genuinely don't have high hopes for our boy Jake Arrieta. I don't know. But I do gotta say, man, this is just such a loaded free agent class. I don't know if it usually is. I don't know if it's just because a bunch of these guys are restricted free agents, but there's just the list just keeps going on and on of stars that are just waiting to get signed.
Yeah, Justin Turner. Um, who else do I'm looking at here? Jay Happ. Ooh, wow. Who's getting that deal?
Every Yankees pitcher essentially is a free agent.
Jake Odorizzi, also up for grabs. That's not a bad snag. 40-year-old Nelson Cruz is still hitting dingers. Didi
So
Gregorius,
fucking fitting.
Tyler Chatwood, James Paxton, Brett Gardner, everyone on the Yankees ever. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be weird. Anyway, you want to talk about the Steelers?
Yeah, I don't know how much there is to actually say, but yeah, I'm down.
Well, so background first. The Steelers game that was supposed to take place on Thanksgiving today in podcast world, tomorrow in podcast recording world. Steelers were supposed to play the primetime game against the Ravens. It was supposed to be the only good game that was going to be on the TV. And there
By
is
astronomical margins. Oh my
not even
god.
fucking close. Not even close. Um, and the Ravens locker room is concerned that it might have some outbreaks. There's some contact stuff happening, and you have to do more testing. So they canceled the game, pushed it back to Sunday. And Steelers players, as well as fans, are pissed,
Yeah.
very upset. For one thing, because their week 7, 8 bye week got canceled and got pushed to or I guess jumped up to week 4 because of
Mhm.
the Titans game getting postponed, which means that this is going to be their first kind of long stretch of time, or at least longer than regular stretch of time between games, in order to get a little bit of rest, because after Thursday night, they wouldn't play again until the following Sunday. So it's a few extra days. And now that's not going to happen, in addition to the fact that they lose a primetime game, yada, yada, yada. And while, again, this might not be like the world's biggest deal in terms of, I guess, the way it's going to work out, because as of right now, the NFL is planning on just playing the game on Sunday. It is still annoying, the fact that this is a complaint mainly because Steelers lost their bye week, when in a different world, the NFL would have put a cushion week between the end of the regular season and the beginning of the playoffs, so the Titans game could have been made up then, so the Steelers wouldn't have lost a bye week and could have just made up a primetime game by being flexed in elsewhere. But instead, the Steelers are still not getting any real significant amount of rest time while they're having an amazing season and
Yeah.
probably could use it. So it's not the end of the world again because, shit's still going to be fine. But it's a frustrating reminder of the sheer lack of planning that was put into this season.
It's just a damn shame that, it's the Steelers that keep getting the short end of the stick because of other teams having the COVID outbreaks. And I'm not going to blame the Ravens. I'm not going to blame I will blame the Titans. The Titans absolutely deserve it. But I won't blame the Ravens, even though I would really love to give them some fucking heat. But it really does suck for the players. It's a primetime Thanksgiving game against their biggest rival in what is far and away the biggest game of the year for them. And now it's just another Sunday game. The atmosphere is definitely not going to be the same. The actual playing of the game is still in doubt because you don't know if these positive tests are going to clear, who else is going to test positive. And it's just another cloud of doubt and uncertainty for a historic season by all means. And, it's really a shame that we're going to miss out. And we're forced to watch the fucking Texans-Lions.
Or worse, Dallas, Washington.
I don't know which is worse, and that's a problem.
It's gonna be Dallas, Washington.
Because neither of Washington or Dallas has a quarterback right now.
Yep,
so
that's why
that would be the worst game for sure.
Yeah. Especially because, sadly though, it also probably has the highest stakes because whoever wins the game has like a somewhat decent shot of still being in the running for the division because that division is so bad. Oh, actually, I do want to take a brief moment to update.
Hold on, I got a quote for you.
Go ahead.
Before we move off the Steelers, if we're gonna come back to it, that's fine. Go right ahead.
We'll come back to it, but give me the quote anyway.
All right. Mike Tomlin had told his players they'd play the Ravens tomorrow and then be off until next Wednesday, making up for the fact that their first bye was only 3 days. You think the Steelers were annoyed when the Titans outbreak affected things? Just wait. I love this.
Yeah, I mean they're on Twitter right now complaining their fucking Twitter fingers off, and rightfully so because again, like it's not just logistics. Again, the fact that this game was supposed to be played on Thursday and is now going to be played on Sunday, logistically speaking, isn't a very big deal. But personnel-wise, it is fucking frustrating that the NFL didn't plan at all in the slightest. And the fact that they're still having outbreaks when they are 2-3 months into their own season and had an entire NBA, NHL, and MLB season to see what worked and what didn't. And yes, the team sizes are bigger and there's more practices, but the MLB traveled around too. You could have talked to Rob Manfred and seen what that fucking idiot could have imparted onto you. They're just letting people get sick. I saw I forget what exact the phraseology of it was, but that Roger Goodell is instituting harsher restrictions on what teams are allowed to and not to do. My first thought was, why wasn't that the standard already? Are you afraid of the players being mad at you that you're restricting them? Guess what, man? The players would probably rather know that everyone's being monitored to a high level so that this shit doesn't happen than worry about how they perceive you. I don't get it.
Oh, the NFL. Just an endless... Like, anytime we think we don't have anything to talk about, a week, a slow week, an off week, whatever, we could always fill it in with talking shit about how fucking awful the NFL is at running both a business and a league.
I know. It truly is. When you think there's nothing to complain about with the NFL, Roger Goodell provideth.
Right. Eric Ebron actually came out, just had another layer to this whole players being upset, saying that, long weeks where he has a chance to travel and isn't rushed, where he only has like a day or a single off day or it's broken up. He said that long weeks are the only time he can go and see his kid, which I 100% understand, with COVID going on and having to quarantine and have multiple negative tests before you can come back to the facilities, this, that. Players are going to miss their families, and that's just a damn shame. And it's just another level of why these players are so fucking pissed off.
Yeah, I mean, who'd have thought that these units of production also had feelings and families?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, for some levity, let's look at the NFC East standings. The Philadelphia Eagles are 3-6-1. The rest of the division is 3-7.
Wow. What the fuck is football nowadays?
Dude, I know. Which means, so the Giants have an off day. They're on their bye week this week. So they literally can't. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, they just came off their bye week. They're playing the Bengals this week, who just lost Joe Burrow, which means that's actually a winnable game for them. The Eagles are playing the Seahawks, so that's a loss. Which means that whichever team, if the Giants win, and whichever team of Washington or Dallas win, those two teams would be tied for first in the NFC East with 4 wins. That's just fucking the next highest ranked 4-win team is a couple ties for third place in their division between New England, Minnesota, Carolina, Denver, and that's it. Then there's 2 4-win teams in last in their division, Detroit and San Francisco, and then and there's a 3-win team on top of the division right now. And there's going to be a 4-win team on top of the division tomorrow, or by the end of games on Sunday. That's fucking ridiculous.
I hate that COVID is really putting a hamper on my ability to go watch the Eagles in Philadelphia be this god awful, and also go to, the MetLife Stadium and see the Giants be this awful, and just being in such close proximity to 3 of the 4 teams in the NFC East. I could easily go see all of these teams in person and watch them be a dumpster fire, and I can't anymore. And that is what's making me most upset about COVID. It's not the 270,000 deaths. It's not the quarantine for 8 months. It's not the lost wages or, the entire economy collapsing. It's not being able to relish in the failures of the NFC East.
They are so bad, man. They're so bad. Oof. And the worst part is you can't just let them be bad if you're a fan. Like right now, the Jets are awful. They're the worst team in the NFL. And so it makes it really easy for me to detach a little bit. And like when they start losing a game, which usually happens within the first 2 minutes, it's just easy. It's easy for me to be like, yeah, all right, that was there. Let's just see what happens from here. Just hope we keep losing and hope that some players have nice games so we can figure some things out for next year, or even less, just watch a dumb screen that has people running around on it. But you can't even do that as an NFC East fan because you still have a chance of winning the division. Like, the Dallas Cowboys are seemingly fucked right now. They've got nothing. Quarterback play is terrible because Dak's out. The defense is bad. Zeke's having a shit season. You're 3-7 10 weeks into the fucking year. And you're not out of it. So as much as you'd probably want to detach because things are so bad, you kind of can't. Because if Dallas gets hot and wins, I don't know, 2 games back to back, they might be on top of the division.
What an outrageous statement. If the Cowboys get hot and win 2 games back to back, they'll claim the division. Fucking A, man.
I know. It's kind of a disgusting sentence. What are the Cowboys' next 2 games? The Cowboys' next 2 games are Washington this week and the Ravens the week after. So What's the best chance? So the best chance that the Cowboys have is they have a chance at maybe running the table starting week 14 because they have the Bengals, then the Niners, then the Eagles, then the Giants. The Bengals lost Joe Burrow. They're going to be bad. The Niners have just never put it together. That game's probably a loss, but hey, who knows? And then the Eagles suck, and the Giants suck. So maybe the Cowboys take a bunch of games at the end. But by the same token, I could say the same fucking thing about the Giants because all the teams in the NFC East are bad, and the Giants could conceivably, win all the games against the division they have left. So who fucking knows anything? This is a nonsense division.
So when are we going to ban them? Basically, relegate them and bring up the SEC East.
Would you rather a relegation system based on interchanging teams or a relegation system based on record? Like the divisions change based on how good or bad you were. So like imagine an NFL where like all the teams that won I don't know 10 or more games. It might have to be more games than that they won just to make it a smaller pool. I don't know how many teams won 10 games last year, but all those teams all got put in the same division. And then like, I don't know, of that 10 teams, 4 of them went to the playoffs. And then of all the 5-win to 9-win teams got put in a division, and of those 10 teams, 3 of them went to the playoffs. And then all the shit teams, all the 0 to 4-win teams, they all got put in a division, and only 1 team went to the playoffs.
I need to see like a flowchart to really comprehend that. But as of right now, fuck it, why not?
Right?
I used to be really changing shit up. Oh, it wouldn't work. It's too crazy. But you know what? Fuck it, man. COVID's fucked up all the rules. Who knows anymore? Let's just get weird with it.
Yeah, because it'd make it interesting because like if your team is in the good pool, all the best teams, and you're 8-8, or whatever 500 is, I don't know, fucking 6-6 because there's still got to be weeks left in the season. Typically, you say to yourself, "Well, I'm not going to the playoffs, so I want to lose the rest of these games so that I can just get a better draft pick." But if 4 teams are all going, and you're like the 5th place team, well, you still got a chance. So you might want to win because you also don't want to get relegated down to the worst league, where you might have a better chance of winning, or going to the playoffs because you'll be a better team in a worse league or division, but fewer teams go to the playoffs there. So it decreases your odds. So who's to say?
Who is to say? Who is qualified to say?
I was going to say Roger Goodell is to say, but then you said qualified, and now I'm not sure. Fuck you.
Fucking A, man.
All right, I have nothing else to say about football. Do you?
I sent you some links while we were talking. I don't know if either of those tickle your fancy.
Let's see. What led to Manish losing his Jets credentials? Oh, yeah. I never did get a word on this. Manish decided to harass Jets GM Joe Douglas' child. What? At a baseball game? Are you serious?
I don't know. It's from some fucking dude on Twitter who... Oh, man, this is a very long Twitter thread. I don't got time to read all this shit, but yeah, I'll believe it.
I mean, that's the thing about Manish Mehta is that he's such a garbage person that, I don't usually want to go along with crazy stories just for the sake of it. If someone's reputation is on the line, but Manish Mehta is a terrible reporter. And by all accounts, kind of a bad guy. So, I would buy this in an instant.
Did you see the talk on basically him having other reporters go in, ask his questions, take notes, and just pass it on to him, and he would just write it like he was there?
I didn't see that, but at the same time, I kind of assumed something like that was happening because he still tweets out like Jets news or whatever, but I know he doesn't have a press pass. So I assumed he was getting the information from somewhere. So that makes sense. And also feels like that should be against the rules.
Really? A guy banned from the Jets press corps at getting information still and still writing those reports? Yeah, no fucking kidding. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, part of the idea here is that you also cease to receive the benefits of the press pass, not just the press pass. The benefits being answers to questions that you came up with in a press conference. So, Jets, you're a sloppy organization. You have other problems. The other one here about Matt Patricia.
Was this the comment? I sent this to you. I know what the comment was. Fucking Christ. Basically, it was like Romeo Crennel coming out and saying, hey, there's really only, two kinds of coaches, right? There are those that have been fired, and there's those that are going to get fired. Speaking of Matt Patricia. So we both fall into that category, which I love. I love the fact that a guy who has kind of built the reputation of being a really good coach, but also has been given the interim coaching position and head coaching position so many times that it's just kind of like second nature. He keeps getting these interim coaching gigs because he's been there, he's done that, he has that experience. He's not spectacular at it, but he can do it and get the job done, and things won't collapse around him. I love the idea that a guy like that comes out looking at a first-time head coach and is just going, that guy's fucked. He's fucked. And we all know it.
Oh, yeah.
And even that he is not good at coaching in the NFL. And other head coaches are willing to come out and say it.
I mean, this is what we want as viewers, because it's like, we know he's getting fired. Just say he's getting fired. Don't be like, oh, well, Matt Patricia's a really good guy. He brings a lot of good things to Detroit. They'll make their assessment as time goes on. It's like, no, everyone knows he's getting fired. Everyone knows it. So yeah, I love the fact that we are getting a lot bolder, calling a spade, and having the real conversation, which is Matt Patricia is getting fired at some point.
Right. And I don't care how good a coach is when it comes to talking about should he stay with the team. That's not a factor that should be involved. Bill O'Brien, fantastic person. I love him. But you're never going to catch me saying, well, they probably should have held on to him a little bit longer. He just needed a little more time to really, get his feet underneath him. No, if it's not working, you need to move on. That's how the NFL works. It's too competitive, and there's too many good young guys or guys with experience coming up who haven't had that opportunity to waste away time on guys that have proven themselves to be ineffective at the position.
Yeah,
it's not about how nice of a guy you are. It's how good you are at doing your job.
And that's the thing. It's like, you hire a coach because you bought into that coach's vision of how they are going to run the team in terms of X's and O's. That should be the main reason why you hire or fire a coach. Obviously, there are secondary reasons that are very important. The culture of that coach is going to bring,
Right.
how well they relate to players, yada, yada, yada. But the main thing
Yada,
is,
yada, yada.
I know, it's been so much. It's a phase.
The
The main thing is going to be, do you believe in what they're doing? Because if not, that guy's not going to change. And if he does change, it's going to be changing because you told him to, or because he's realizing it needs to, and then it's not the reason you hired him anymore. If you hired Matt Patricia because he was going to do I don't know what Matt Patricia's whole deal is. A ground and pound kind of system, but the running backs aren't getting the yards. So is Matt Patricia going to pivot to more wide receivers? More wide out only sets and more go routes and slant routes and yada yada. Oh, there it is again and whatnot. Yeah, Matt Patricia might do that, but at the same time, that's not his wheelhouse. That might not be what he's good at. That's not why you hired him. There's probably a guy out there who schemes around that system better. So why don't you go find that guy instead of trying to bend Matt Patricia to be that guy? And it's not just solely a Patricia thing. It's a thing we see all over the NFL, which is, yeah, you can keep changing out the personnel to
the guy that uses pens. You know?
That too.
I'm over the pencil in the ear.
I think it's keeping him together. But like personnel is going to come and go almost no matter what. So saying he just needs his guys is a specious comment in a lot of ways because his guys are always going to be coming and going. That's just how that's how any league works, but especially the NFL with the large number of players there are. You got to find a guy whose system works. That's what makes Belichick so great. This season, obviously, an exception, but he had a system. His system always worked.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway. I hope the Lions can figure their shit out, man. Oh, my God.
I think they're heading in the right direction once they can get rid of Patricia. I think a lot of teams are waking up to the idea that, hey, these guys aren't good just because they've been around before. Because that's not how you should hire somebody.
No. But it's the NFL, so that's how they do hire everyone.
35 years of job experience just means that you've been alive and in the workforce for 35 years. It doesn't mean you've been good. Saying someone has like 35 years of job experience, or I don't know, it's the NFL, it's less than that. Saying someone has 15 years of job experience just means that they've been in the same industry for 15 years, and that's not saying a lot.
No. I couldn't imagine being what am I trying to say? The field that I'm in now for the next 15 years. Nothing against the field I'm in, but man, that's a long time.
Hey, man, we got 40 more to go.
No.
Buckle up, buddy. 50 if you're unlucky.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we talk? Speaking of capitalism, shall we talk about Black Friday?
Sure.
All right. So let's look at some Black Friday statistics. All right. So let's see. So despite Cyber Monday and other major shopping holidays around Thanksgiving weekend, Black Friday is still the most popular day to shop. 61% of Thanksgiving week shoppers said they plan to shop on Black Friday. That's from 2019. That is an alarmingly high number.
You said 2019, not this year?
Not this year, yeah.
Okay, thank God. Oh.
61% of people actually shop on Black Friday? In 2019, the Thanksgiving weekend, so including Cyber Monday, shoppers spent an average of $361 on holiday items. That is up from $313 in 2018. That is a $50 increase last year. I'm so sure that number is going down this year.
Yeah.
But still, that's a lot of money. Corwin, have you bought your Christmas gifts yet?
Most, actually.
Yeah, right on.
No, I bought some. The rest are sitting in my shopping cart for Black Friday, likely.
There you go.
It happens.
Here's another one up your alley. In 2019, more people shopped online than in stores on Black Friday. 142.2 million people shopped online, while 124 million people went into the stores.
Those people are fucking crazy.
I literally can't imagine.
It's something I do want to do someday, though. Like at some point, I don't want to shop for the deals. I just want to go watch it unfold. Like
I-
one
I-
year, I'm gonna stay up or wake up early, go to fucking Walmart or Target or whatever one of the places is that people go for Black Friday shopping, and I just want to watch it unfold.
I just can't get over the fact that 124 million people go out shopping on Black Friday. That is 1/3 of the population of the U.S.
Holy shit. Like, I know a couple people that I've talked to, and had regular conversations with on Black Friday, and they're like, oh yeah, like we're planning on going out in like an hour or so, like we'll avoid the rush, like this, that, or like, oh yeah, we're gonna get up early, but like it's definitely not 1/3 of the people I know.
I know you can't get 1/3 of the nation to agree on anything.
Yeah. Fuck.
Wow.
We couldn't even get 1/3 of the population to vote for the same guy.
No, we got half. Let's go, Joe.
Well, half of however many people actually did vote.
1/3.
Oh, God.
Well, that's 1/3 of total population, though. I don't know what the electorate size is. Anyway.
Touche.
The
I need
most
to stop
popular.
saying touche instead of touche.
Yeah,
Because it just makes me sound dumb.
The top selling toys
Mm-hmm.
in 2019 were Frozen 2 toys, LOL surprise toys. No idea what that is. I am out of touch. And Paw Patrol toys, which is not surprising and yet is also surprising because it makes sense that the most purchased toys are all kids items because kids all want the same things. And as we get older and our tastes get more refined, we like more individual things, like when Corwin and I were both like 8, I bet we watched a lot of the same shows because there's only so many kids shows and you're going to just buy the shit you see on the TV. And now that we're adults, we have more specific interests.
What was your favorite show as a kid?
That's tough. Kids Next Door was up there.
Yeah, that was great.
That was a great show. I was also a big SpongeBob kid when I was younger. Love SpongeBob.
That's good, yeah.
Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
That was a great show.
It's a great show. Sometimes I even catch myself still singing some of the songs from it, like Brains, Brains, it's okay. It doesn't matter if they isn't gray. Oh, that was a good show.
I don't remember that.
It's from the zombie episode. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that doesn't matter. Real Monsters, also a classic. Anyway. Yeah.
Real Monsters. Is that a show?
Yeah, it was a show. It was on Cartoon Network.
Real Monsters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't watch that show because that gave me fucking nightmares just looking at them.
Yeah, they were some creepy ass motherfuckers down there.
Best Cartoon Network shows. Oh boy, these are not shows. All right, I need to put a year here. 2000s. Oh my god. Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Oh,
Great
such a good
show.
Yeah.
Samurai Jack wasn't
Great
my
show.
deal, but I appreciate it more now. Codename Kids Next Door, all-time classic.
Yep.
I honestly kind of want to go back and just watch that now.
I actually bet that's still good. There's a lot of stuff I refuse to rewatch, but I bet that's still good.
Oh, I'm sure. What's New Scooby-Doo? Watched the shit out of that.
Such a good show.
The Clone Wars, obviously, for reasons. What else do we got? Let's see. What's IMDb say? Johnny Bravo, sure. Ben 10, not my thing. Ed, Ed and Eddie. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends was pretty all right.
I like that show.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's rein it back in real quick. Some final stats here. So, the top Black Friday realtors. There are 6 bullet points here. Only 2 companies are named. What 2 companies do you think those are?
Of realtors?
Sorry, retailers. That's my mistake.
Oh.
Retailers.
Only 2 named on Black Friday?
Yep.
I know one is Walmart. That's
That's
a
there.
given.
Yep.
I don't think I want to say Target. I guess I'll say Best Buy.
Amazon.
Oh, I was thinking actual
Brick and mortar. Yeah. Wow, they really do run the whole fucking world, don't they?
All right, I got to get one more out there because I'm just scrolling through these shows. Fairly Odd Parents.
Another great show.
Unbelievable. So good.
Love it, love it, love it. Oh, actually, here's a 2020 stat, so we can maybe close on this. 65% of shoppers will choose to buy products online instead of in-store to avoid crowds in 2020, while 64% choose to purchase online for the comfort of shopping from home. So 65% of people are going to buy online because they want to avoid crowds, and 35% of people want to get sick. Sorry, I'll admit that. 35% of people don't think the virus is real. That's who those are. Let's be honest.
And I want to say, like, I want to make a comment here, comment there, this, that. Yeah, I mean, 70 million people voted for someone who doesn't believe in the virus, so obviously they're not going to believe in the virus. As awful as it is, like, it's not crazy to me. Like, it still makes sense. It's awful, but it makes sense. Whatever. I'm still no. I don't want to talk. I don't want to think about it.
Who wants to be sad? That's what we're asking. Because we're all gonna be sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so that there's some Black Friday stats for the holiday season. Look, Thanksgiving's gonna be weird this year for a lot of us. I know I usually spend it with my family. I'm not seeing them. Doing a solo thing, me and the girlfriend, and that's it. I know some people are probably just doing it by themselves. However you're doing it, it's all right. You know, it's a weird year. You gotta take care of you. Find some way to make it fun. Find some way to make it meaningful, and know that, like, we're just getting through it, man. And if you just gotta do some shit to get through the day, you do what you gotta do to just get through the day. You know, ain't nothing wrong with doing Thanksgiving any weird ass type of way in this year just to survive. So yeah.
Hey, this year's gonna be weird. Do some hard work. Have some. Bring some excitement to Thanksgiving dinner. You know,
Stuff when I'm talking, it's all over the place.
That's okay. While we have a good Wi-Fi connection, we're gonna head out. So that's that. Until fucking Monday, y'all have a good one.
bye.